truly game-changing news for the Quest platform. A brand new accessory for the Quest that changes not only how we interact with the platform, but the future of accessories for Quest, plus a game-changing Quest 3 visual update that really shows the polish that can come from the Quest 3's power, plus some sad news when it comes to what we were hoping from this year for the Quest. First, let's get the sad news out of the way. A couple of different news pieces that popped up yesterday in Andrew Bosworth's AMA. The first being the fact that we are not getting a gaming showcase this year. In his AMA, Andrew Bosworth said that we don't have them every year, which so far we have had them every year since they started them. So this must be the off year that he's talking about, that we're not having it this year. He did say they'll look forward to Connect. Maybe we'll get some game information and announcements there, specifically probably about Batman or maybe some other big titles that Mark Zuckerberg himself wants to talk about. Who knows? But unfortunately, the gaming showcase not happening this year, which is extremely disappointing. The other thing, though, that is disappointing is the fact that augments have been significantly delayed. That's right, last year at Connect, we got the announcement that Quest 3 was getting augments. The plan was the beginning of this year, and according to Boz in his AMA, they did a lot of testing in January and discovered they were not happy with them. So they went back to the drawing board and started all over again, completely resetting the development clock for augments. So we have no idea when they are coming. I would expect to hopefully hear something this fall at Connect. Who knows? Connect is September, I think, 27th and 28th. Hopefully we'll get some more information about those augments. But now, let's talk about the good news. And one of the biggest pieces of good news is the fact that Logitech is teaming up with Meta for a brand new accessory. But this isn't just any accessory. This is actually a tracked pen stylus type of controller. But why I'm saying it's a game changer. Not only is it a game changer for the fact that artistic stuff will be able to be done in VR with an actual pen style tool. You'll be able to actually hold the touch controller in your left hand, using it as a palette essentially, and then have the new Logitech MX Ink is what it's called in your right hand, and use that to draw in painting, drawing things, or 3D software to create stuff. It looks like there's a lot of cool opportunities for this. Figment XR is getting it as well. So the fact that we've got that is huge, and it's going to be great for creatives, but that's not why I'm saying it's a game changer. It is for them, but for the rest of us, this is actually going to be a third tracked controller connected, which means that you can have 3 controllers connected at any given time. So that's the 2 touch controllers and then this third MX Ink controller. What does that mean? Well, 2 different things. It means potentially in the future we could track multiple touch controllers if they're adding support for additional tracking devices. Meaning you could potentially use extra controllers for full body tracking maybe in the future if they allow other controllers to be tracked, or to pair multiple controllers to be tracked at the same time. And that's not even what I was thinking when I actually said game changing. That just came to me off the top of my head. What I was thinking was other controllers. So that means that in the future we could have additional controllers that are supported, that are third-party peripheral for the Quest. Now, my mind immediately goes to some crazy places, like having a racing wheel that is completely designed to work with standalone VR, and being able to walk up to it and have the actual steering wheel be tracked. Can you imagine if the steering wheel was tracked? You could see a representation in the racing game of where exactly the steering wheel was. When you turn the wheel, it turns it in the game, but not because of the feedback, because of the positioning and the feedback together. Like, it works in connection. Now, I don't know if that's even possible or if they plan on doing that, but it would be amazing if you get the low enough latency to actually use a Bluetooth driving peripheral that is not just driving, but it's tracked and uses hand tracking, so you can grab onto the wheel and it shows you interacting with it in a realistic manner. I'd just be happy if we got racing wheels that were supported on Quest, honestly, but that's just where my mind goes. What other controllers do you think would work? Let us know in the comments. I'm curious to see what you think. In the future, we could get any number of different controllers that were tracked. A lot of different things that could come from this. A lot of big game-changing potential. And I think that you should be really excited, because the fact that they're releasing third-party tracked peripheral means that, anyone in theory, right, could create a third-party tracked peripheral, like a sword peripheral that actually looks like a sword and isn't just a touch controller, or a fishing one, or, whatever. Something that is completely designed to be a controller that's self-contained, doesn't need a touch controller. Now, that's going to be expensive for people to buy into probably consistently, because the MX pen I think is $129 or is $149. I can't remember. That launches late in September, by the way. If you're interested in it, put a link in the description for more info. But it just opens up the opportunity for a lot more controllers, and I would be happy for every game to get its own specific type of controller. I don't know about you, but having a gun controller that is literally looks like an actual pistol, and playing Gun Club with that without having to attach the touch controller to it and having it actually be a real feeling controller, I mean, that sounds pretty awesome. I'm sure it comes with design issues, but that's just what gets me excited. Now, moving on, one of the next big exciting things is a game-changing update, literally, for a Quest 2 or Quest 1 and 2 game that is coming to Quest 3 support, and that is the Exorcist Legion. Now, I don't personally play this game because not only am I terrified, I don't play stuff with demon stuff in it, just because of what I believe, and I don't like to dabble with that stuff, but I think that I had to show this today because I needed to show you the difference between Quest 2 and Quest 3 even more extensively. So they've done a lot of work on this game to bring this to Quest 3, or the updates to Quest 3. There's 60 plus different things that have changed. We're just going to talk about a couple of them when we watch this video on screen, even though it's creepy, because I think that it shows the true power of what Quest 3 can bring, especially to older games that launched on Quest 1. Exorcist Legion VR obviously is part of the Exorcist series of films, or it takes place in the same kind of universe. And you're seeing here the first video that I'm going to show you. Let me click back here. Amplified lighting. There is a massive difference between the Quest 2, which is very bland, and the Quest 3's amplified lighting. The shadows and lighting that the Quest 3 can do are impressive. And we've seen that before, but I love seeing it more every single time I see it. And that's not even the most impressive one. Watch this next one. Okay, this corridor lit up. That looks so much better and much creepier. Or even things like, they said, reimagined effects. This is reimagined fire effects and the way things work. Same thing with this one, a reimagined fire effect and the lighting on the cave that you're in. Enhanced textures. This is huge too, because it's going to make it more realistic when you're interacting with people. It's enhanced textures for both materials and for characters, which is huge. It's also adding in dynamic shadows, which I'm not sure if you really notice in this video as well, but it does add in dynamic shadows to the game as well. I'm just gonna let this repeat so you can kind of see it. I'm gonna read off a few of these because there's a lot that it adds. Enhanced visual effects, seamless gameplay. It means that the areas you're in are going to be more connected without having to load in between areas. If you've ever played the game, you would understand that. Dynamic shadows, improved audio. They're updating character models and animations, new gameplay mechanics, new death effects, interactive environments, ritual enhancements. It says in their blog post these are just a small sample of the 60 plus updates we've made to leverage the Quest 3's capabilities to bring unparalleled immersion and terror. The update is going to be free for everyone that owns the game, so make sure that if you've played in the past, when it does update, if you like the game, check it out, because I would be curious to see your thoughts on how much of a difference the Quest 3 update actually makes. There you go. That's what I've got for you today for Quest 3 updates. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you're going to play the update for the Exorcist game, if you're looking forward to actually having the Logitech MX Ink pen, or if you're extremely disappointed about not getting a good game showcase like I am. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Hopefully we'll have more news to share about those things in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and as always, happy questing.